here out in force, man. This is great. How did it feel to get nominated?
It was great. It was a huge honor. It's a wonderful honor to be here with all my friends. Yeah,
You guys gave us a really nice review. Thank
Seriously,
you so much.
and you're an awesome reporter, man. Like, you asked the coolest questions. You're a smart guy, and it was really cool. It's very cool. Right on, brother. I appreciate it, man. Yeah, us too. That's Robert Kirkman right there. It's the creator of the comic book.
Oh, great. Oh, wonderful.
Right
Love it.
This guy really has helped our cause, man.
Oh,
He's a
good.
really
Thank
cool
you very
dude.
much. Thanks. Really
Right on,
appreciate it.
brother.
Can't wait for next season.
Right on. Us too.
Us too. If you can get anything out of him, please let us know because we're curious.
Okay. Well, this is
They all die.
the Golden Globes is the place where tongues get loosened by libations in there. So
It's true.
We're going to put a couple cocktails in him and send him back out.
Yeah, we'll bring him back. Right on, man.
great time. Congrats on the nomination.
Thank you very much, man. Thank you.
Was it a surprise to have The Walking Dead nominated?
Oh my God, yes, it was an amazing surprise. The show, I guess doing the show in Atlanta in the heat of the summer, in a heat wave, it felt like a very intimate and, private, almost personal experience. We had such a bonding experience as a group of survivors, facing this zombie apocalypse. It seems like something very small and contained. And to now have it embraced, by the world in this way, it just came as a surprise to us because I think we had all very much made it a small kind of personal experience. Yeah.
Well, it was you speak about surviving. Was there an element of surviving the heat and humidity?
Oh my God, yes. It really helped us because, of course, we're supposed to be miserable. We're supposed to be suffering through this. And it was the hottest summer on record in Georgia, I believe, with heat index above 115 or something ridiculous like that. And so we had a great crew that kept pumping us with water and vitamins and all kind of things to keep us from fainting. But the heat was intense, and we were able to just be in that moment and use that to find the reality of the scene. Yeah.
I've talked to some other cast members, and what they keep talking about is the ensemble and working in on the close scenes with each other. Not fighting zombies.
Yeah, right. I know. It was really unexpected because I am not a zombie fan, and I haven't seen a lot of zombie movies, but I expected when I heard that it was about zombies that it would be about running from zombies, but it wasn't at all. It was about just the intense human experience of what happens when people feel a lot of pressure, when people feel a lot of fear, and when people are simply trying to survive, how issues of integrity and the indefatigable human spirit, is very much the forefront of the plot and of the human concern. So it's been exciting to see the world catch on to that and be surprised that it's not just about hitting zombies in the head with axes, but it's about living day to day and making decisions and dealing with stress and pressure.
This is why you come to the Golden Globes, because Robert
we
De
just
Niro.
saw Robert De I would have never seen Robert De Niro ever in my life. I just would have been looking at him on film, and now I just seen
He's
him.
probably spent his entire life avoiding standing next to Lonnie and I.
Probably.
But at the Golden Globes, he can't help it.
He couldn't help it, and he was so nice about it. Thank you
Yeah.
for asking that question.
You guys worked the show. I mean, who was the most fun to talk to tonight?
Well, I got to do the red carpet for the Tonight Show, and then Lonnie and I did the after party in the lobby of this hotel, the Beverly Hilton, and sort of had the celebrities around us. I got to talk to a lot of fun people, but I think the most fun was Bryan Cranston from Breaking Bad, who's won the Emmy a ton of times, and he's just so game and so fun and down. But we saw some cool people in the lobby. What about LL Cool J?
We saw LL Cool J. We saw the guy from The Blind Side.
Adrian Brody. I thought she was going to knock down the barrier and make out with Adrian Brody.
He was so cute, and he had like this little goatee and stuff, and I was like, oh, and I had to control myself because we were rolling. If we weren't rolling, I would have went for him.
And you know what? You think his nose would be annoying, but in person you're like, get me a saddle.
He's in there right behind you. He's in
there? Oh shit, don't tell me I said that.
Well, I guess we'll be going.
Thank you guys so much.
Have a great night.
Wonderful night. Looking forward to going inside and just having a great time.
You guys, again, had some great nominations for your show. It's great to see the constant representation. You're a favorite, obviously.
Oh, thank you so much. I appreciate it. It's a fun show. We're in our 7th season, and hopefully we'll get to do 7 more, and we'll see what happens in the coming year and a half.
Right. There's going to be some changes, but I think people are really interested to see what's going to happen.
Absolutely. We have such a strong following that people are committed to watching the show, and we're so very appreciative of that they want to see what the outcome is in terms of, the change in the office. All companies and corporations have changes of staff, and, we're just an example of what's going on in the real world. So we'll embrace the change and move forward.
It seems to me that maybe the ensemble has been doing more and more over the last season and a half or so.
Oh, absolutely. You've gotten a chance to see more of our lives with one another and independently in terms of our life at home with our families. You're going to get to see more of that. You're going to get to see Stanley and his relationship with his 2 daughters, and, he's still having an affair. And, we've got to see how that plays out in terms of the fact that he's still married, but he also has his girlfriend, Cynthia. So we've got to see how his kids feel about that. And, Phyllis isn't, too happy with that because Bob and Cynthia are getting along, a little too chummily. So, so it's a little drama afoot.
Well, it's going to be fun, and we look forward to seeing what you guys do with it. I was just talking to Mr. Baker, your co-star, about some changes coming up. That before, the end of the season, we're going to maybe see some transition time. Will there be an ascendancy? Are you hoping for an internal ascendancy or somebody coming in?
I don't know. I don't like change, so I don't want anything to change.
Yeah.
I'm in complete denial. That's my
I don't
that's
want
my
him
stance.
to leave, but I don't. But anyway, he will. That's okay.
You don't think Gabe has any aspirations of leaping into the,
Oh, I'm sure Gabe would like to ascend as far as his limited social skills would allow him to, which I imagine is not that high.
Well, it should be pretty interesting. One would think, right?
I think the future's bright. I really do. I mean, as sad as we are to see Steve go, I feel like we have so many terrific characters on our show. I feel like it couldn't possibly. I mean, people's investment is so great. I feel like we have nowhere to go but forward.
Do you feel like, in looking at the scripts that, from the outside, it looks like the ensemble is doing more pulling through each show? Does it feel like that?
Yeah.
No, absolutely, yeah.
Yeah, there's been more characters who I think we've seen, right, Daryl and Andy in the spotlight more in some of these episodes,
Yeah.
right? They're shuffling the focus around, I think, a little.
Sharing the love.
Yeah.
We'll agree to agree or something.
Yeah.
For once, can we just agree to agree?
The thing that struck me most about your film, and this is great, I'm speaking to one of the co-writers, is the dialogue is just so wonderful and real in it. I mean, what was your inspiration?
I think our inspiration was the way people actually speak. I think you want to make it as interesting as possible, but within that, we wanted to really show, how people are in a family, and we wanted to keep it real, as they say. So that was the inspiration.
And what was the process for that? I mean, was it a word for word, or
We just Lisa and I sat side by side and basically acted it out. We improv'd, and we just let it fly. We gave ourselves room to swing the cat, as Marlon Brando once said.
what's interesting about a film with that kind of dialogue is how it's perceived maybe in other countries? I mean, what do you hear from like the UK about it? Or
I feel like people overseas really dig it. I don't know if they catch all the idiom. I think Americans really love things like shut the front door and things like that. But no, I think people really find it to be believable, and that's the best part.
well, congratulations again, and best of luck as the award season goes on.
Thank you so much.
You had a castmate nominated tonight.
The most exciting thing in the world, Piper Perabo, nominated for Best Actress for our show Covert Affairs. You know, Piper, I think, just knowing her personally, she's a very incredible person. I love her. But in addition to that, I think she has a presence on screen that's really rare and remarkable. And on Covert Affairs, she plays it's a really difficult role. She's playing someone who has a huge secret, and she's lying to everybody. And it's very exciting. So you see this, you know, sort of action side of her and a much more intense, dramatic side. And I think that's kind of an irresistible combination. So,
What's it like to work with her? How is she professionally?
she's amazing. you imagine the greatest, most fun actor to do your scenes with, and that's Piper. I'm so lucky to work with her every single day.
Can you tell us of a particular scene this last season that you really liked doing with her?
Oh, there was a scene where we're in Niagara Falls. I've taken her with me to on a honeymoon that was supposed to happen with my husband. So she comes, and then my husband shows up, and he's in the closet. And so there's this whole scene where I'm trying to hide that he's in the closet from her. And it was really funny. She has such great comic timing, and I remember that being a blast.
So congrats on having a nomination amongst your party tonight.
Thank you very much. We're really, really proud of Piper.
How do you think this is going to help the show? I mean, you got some great exposure worldwide just from having her nominated.
Yeah, we are so proud of how the show did last summer. It did very, very well. And the fact that Piper was acknowledged can only help and help bring attention to the show and to her. She does such an amazing job. I mean, we couldn't be happier to have her as our leader, so we're thrilled.
Have you guys started shooting yet?
No, we start shooting in March. And we'll be back in the summer. We don't have a start date yet for the show, but sometime in the summer.
When do you start getting some scripts to look at?
March. Yeah, we'll get the scripts in March. We had a big cast and writer dinner the other night, and they were really tight-lipped. But tonight, some of them are inside and have had a few glasses of champagne. So I'm getting some more details out of them tonight, and it's going to be really, really good.
It seems like that's kind of the purpose of the Golden Globes, is to loosen the tongues of people who are working on the shows.
That's exactly the only reason for the Golden Globes, really, is to get everybody a little bit wasted so that they can give up some spoilers. Yeah.
Well, looking forward to seeing you this summer.
Great. Thank you very much.
It just came as a surprise to us because I think we had all very much made it a small kind of personal experience. Yeah.
Well, it was you speak about surviving. Was there an element of surviving the heat and humidity?
Oh my God, yes. It really helped us because of course we're supposed to be miserable. We're supposed to be suffering through this, and it was the hottest.
No, because we're curious.
Okay. Well, this is
They all die.
the Golden Globes is the place where tongues get loosened by libations in there. So
It's true. It's true.
We're going to put a couple cocktails in him and send him back out.
Yeah, we'll bring it back. Right on, man.
Great time. Congrats on the nomination.
Thank you very much, man. Thank you.
Was it a surprise to have The Walking Dead nominated?
Oh my God, yes, it was an amazing surprise. You know, the show, I guess doing the show in Atlanta in the heat of the summer, in a heat wave, it felt like a very intimate and, you know, private, almost personal experience. You know, we had such a bonding experience as a group of survivors, you know, facing this zombie apocalypse. It seems like something very small and contained. And to now have it embraced, you know, by the world in this way.
You're an awesome, awesome reporter, man. Like, you asked the coolest questions. You're a smart guy, and it was really cool. It's very cool. Right on, brother. I appreciate it, man. Yeah, us too. Us too. That's Robert Kirkman right there. It's the creator of the comic book. Right?
Great. Oh, wonderful. Love it.
This guy really, really has helped our cause, man. He's a really cool dude.
Thanks. Really
Right on, brother.
Can't wait for next season.
Right on. Us too.
Us too. Us too. If you can get anything out of him, please let us.